Let's recreate this stunning render in Blender. First, I'll add the reference image which you can find in the descriptions. Now add a cube and scale it to match the base shape. After that, apply all transform and set the origin to geometry. Now add a bevel modifier, and trust me, this will help a lot when we use booleans. Also change the meter outer from sharp to arc and enable hardened normals. Now before moving to the holes, let's quickly model the knobs. Add a cylinder and scale it to match the size of the knob. Next, bevel these faces to match the shape of the reference. Finally, add an array modifier and place the knobs just like shown in the reference. I won't apply the modifier yet because we will need it later during the texturing. To create the indented section, let's make a rectangular face using loop cuts. Now insert the face, then insert it again, hold Ctrl and push it downwards. And if you look closely, the bevel modifier has already added bevels to the corners. Now let's move to the main part. First, we will create the knob holes using a boolean modifier. Start by adding a cube and shape it like the knob hole. Finally, place the mesh where you want the hole. Now add an array modifier to create duplicates with precise measurements. Finally, add a boolean modifier to the base mesh and select the object we just created. Now if you hide the object, you will notice that the holes are created, but the edges are still sharp. So, in the modifier stack, make sure the bevel modifier is placed at the bottom. Before moving forward, I'll put the boolean objects into a new collection called boolean. This will help a lot and I'll show you how in a moment. Now I need to create another hole with the same geometry but in a different position. So I'll just duplicate this object and place it there. Now since I have another object to use as a boolean, instead of adding another boolean modifier, I'll just change the type from object to collection and place the new object inside the boolean collection. Now for the remaining knobs, simply duplicate them and place them in the correct positions. For the screen, add a few loop cuts and create rectangular face. Now insert the face once, then insert it again and finally extrude it upwards. And yes, don't worry about the sharp edges since the bevel modifier is already applied. Now for the remaining boolean holes, I'll leave it up to you since the process is same as before. Just create the mesh and place it in the boolean collection and that's it. Now for the actual button part, this part is simple. Just copy the boolean object, scale it down a bit and place it inside the hole. But make sure not to put this object in the boolean collection. Before moving forward, let's set the main mesh as the parent so we can move everything together. Now to work on the textures, we need some basic lighting and a base so we can place our model on it. So I'll use a plane for the base and add 3 area lights from different angles and different intensity. Now let's move to the texturing part. Start with the base mesh, add a new material and change the color. You can use the same color as mine, then increase the roughness a little bit. Finally, let's make it look like a grainy metallic surface. Add a noise texture, then hold Ctrl plus Shift and click on the noise texture to preview the texture on the surface. Then add a texture coordinate node and change the coordinate from UV to object so the texture is spread evenly across the surface. Now it's time to tweak the noise texture. Don't just copy my values, Try adjusting them yourself to get the texture you like. After that, add a color ramp to increase the contrast. Then connect the color ramp output to the metallic input of the principal BSDF. That's it for the base surface. Now let's work on the knobs. Add a new material and change the color as you like. Then increase the metallic and roughness values. Finally, under the specular section, increase both the IOR and anisotropic values up to 1. Then select all the remaining knobs and link the material from the knob we just textured. Now let's fix the texture issue on the knobs created with the error modifier. First apply the error modifier, then go into edit mode and separate them by loose paths. Also, don't forget to apply all transform and set the origin to geometry. Now for the remaining buttons, I'll leave this part to you. Since they all use the same texture, just texture one and link it to the others. Now we are left with the screen. Go into edit mode and select the face. In the materials tab, add a new slot and click new to create a new material. Then press assign. Finally, tweak the color and roughness to make it look like a screen. Now before moving to the lighting, let's quickly set up the scene. Rotate and place the plane behind the model and adjust the camera so it looks straight at the model. First, let's light up the background. Add an area light and place it behind the model facing the plane. Then adjust the intensity and scale until you get the look you like. Now add another area light that will act as the main light for the scene. Place it on one side of the model and raise it slightly upwards. This will create shadows on the other side and give the render a more realistic and cinematic look. Now you can adjust the intensity and angle of the area light until you get a result that looks good to you. Now finally duplicate the area light and place it to soften the shadows a bit. This light will work as the fill light for the scene. You can duplicate it again if needed, then adjust the intensity, scale and softness. From here, tweak the light properties and positions yourself. Once that's done, then we will move to the white version of the model. Now to create the white version, I'll duplicate the whole model and place it behind the black one. Now go to the shaders editor and select the base mesh. Click this button to make the material single user so it won't affect the original one. Now adjust the color as you like. I'm going with the white, but feel free to choose any color. Now do the same for the knobs. Make the material single user, then change the color. After that, you can link it to the other knobs as well. The same method applies for the rest of the meshes. Just make them single user and tweak the color as you like. After that, you can make a few more tweaks and adjustment until you get a result similar to mine. Once everything is done, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Then render the scene and you are good to go.